Hello, welcome to A Date with Kiki. My name is Kiki Julubo and I'm your host. A Date with Kiki is a show that opens everyone up to the inner world of men. It is a show where men share their experiences for others to learn from. And remember, like I said to you, we would be having other guests on the show, meaning women sometimes on the show. Guess what? That's what we're doing this time around. Why? You wonder? Well, it's Mother's Day season. Yay! I will get to celebrate mothers and their sons. So this season, I will be hosting mothers and their sons for us to ask them some questions about their journey, the joys of raising boys to become men, and to be able to teach us who have younger boys or who are hoping to be mothers of boys, some of the things they have to teach us. On today's episode, I've got a very lovely mother with me and her son. Now, I would love you to meet my guest, Graceful Rachel, as we call her, and her son, Christopher. Rachel, thank you so much for coming on A Date with Kiki.
It's a pleasure
and
to
Christopher,
be here.
I know how precious your time can be to you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Before I hand over to Rachel to tell us a little bit about herself, I'd like to say that Rachel is also a host of the Bounce Back Show, where she mentors women on how to bounce back from their pains and turn it into joy. And now to you, Rachel and Christopher. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Okay, thank you. It's lovely to be here today, and Kiki, and well done for this amazing show.
Thank you.
My name is Graceful Rachel. I'm an author, a mother of two amazing boys. One of them is Christopher, and I'm a founder of Man Empowering Projects and a presenter of the Bounce Back Show. So that is my journey.
Yeah, and I'm a great fan of the Bounce Back Show.
Thank you.
Back. Yes, yeah. Christopher, do you want to tell us just a bit about yourself, what you do, and...
Yeah, I'm Christopher. This is my mum. I'm a student, first year in university, and I'm studying TV production. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure you're very used to doing this.
I mean, yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
You're not a stranger, are you, to
TV? Exactly. Thank you so much, Christopher, for coming, and I really appreciate your time. Now to you, Mom. My first question to you, which is a question I always think about myself, actually. Yeah. Do you want to tell us the journey to having Christopher, because it's your first, right?
Yes.
So the journey to having him, did you want sons? Did you ever think you would have two sons? Did you ever think a son would be your first child? And when you had Christopher, what went on in your mind? As in the first look, when you gave him that first look, oh, I'm a mother. Yes.
Oh yeah, where do I start from? Yes, it's been an amazing journey, Kiki, and I can't believe he's going to turn 21 this year.
Wow.
I don't look old, do I? Yeah, so I mean, having Christopher has been a joy, really. And you asked if I wanted a son or did I plan of having a son. I believe God is a giver of children.
Gift, yeah.
And you know what? And I didn't mind. My first, when I got pregnant, of course I didn't mind if it's going to be a boy or a girl. Although I didn't like the surprise. So I actually found out that the sex of the baby. Yeah. Yes. So when I found out it was a boy, it was quite amazing, because actually, it was a joy, because my family, I have 5 girls in my family and a brother. So it's a family of girls.
Oh.
My mom was over the joy.
I can imagine.
Exactly. Having another boy in the family. Yeah. So it's been a joy. I mean, the joy of raising Christopher, and of course, my little one as well, Ethan, has been an amazing journey. I mean, what I would say is, really, I can't take the credit, I just believe that it's God that has given me the grace to be able to, to raise them and, and to continue raising them. Actually, I'm always trusting God, for the wisdom to be able to guide them, which, I believe, I always tell people that, we're just here as a childminder, we're here just to look. It's God that is going to actually, order their footsteps. So I'm always praying for God to give me the wisdom to guide them and to lead them aright, really. And I would say, the best thing for me is actually being in the right church, whereby for them to know God themselves, to have that encounter with God themselves. And, I'm really grateful that we're in a church whereby, they've been able to, to find God themselves and serving God themselves as well. Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And I always say that when we're choosing these things, in one of our episodes where we talked about manliness, the purpose of a man, one of the things we laid emphasis on was, the understanding your purpose.
Of course.
And then, but firstly, having that relationship with God. And that's what will make a man a man. Not the strength, not the height, not the size, but that relationship with the man. Because that's what mentors you to be able to have good relationship with the people around you. And well done. I must say well done for taking your time to ensure you take your boys to the right church.
That's it.
That's very important. Well done. Then again, I'd like to point something out. You said you like to give all the credits to God.
Yeah.
And I commend you for that. And on your behalf, I give God the credit.
Thank you, darling.
But then again, I give you the credit for listening to God.
Thank you.
Because sometimes God speaks to us and you don't listen. So instead of listening and following in that path, we kind of contend with God.
Yeah.
So well done, Rachel, for listening to God.
Thank you.
But then, boys will be boys, as we always say. So I realize you've talked about, the good boys. But I'm sure there are those times where you give that scream, Christopher, come back here. You want to tell us a bit about, those times that you were like, what have I gotten myself into?
The incident that actually came to mind was when you were in secondary school. You had that episode.
What?
In the bus. Yeah.
Okay, let Christopher tell us about that himself now.
Oh God.
We've had a conversation after it, and now she understands what actually happened.
But then, what happened then?
Okay, so I was on the bus with my friends, and then boys just being boys. So I went to all boys school. Boys just being boys. We just went, he could punch the bus roof the hardest. So we all just went in turns.
Wow.
And obviously it was me. I punched it the hardest, and I got a cut on my
the bus is still there, actually, isn't it?
Wow.
And then later on that day, another guy punched the same spot, and it made a massive hole. And then I got the blame for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course the school called me, of course. Wow. Imagine getting a call from the school and say, this is what has happened. I'm thinking
on the bus.
I'm thinking they vandalized, the bus. I'm thinking, no, that's not my child. No. Oh yeah. So we had that incident. Of course, you explained to me, although I didn't find it funny.
Not at that moment.
Not at that moment. Exactly. I'm thinking, vandalization. That is what happened?
My child.
Not my child. Yeah. But of course, what happened? Yeah, you got its consequences, isn't it? Yeah. Which wasn't pleasant.
It wasn't nice at all.
It wasn't nice at all. Yeah. So that is what I mean. See, that just came to mind. That incident that I'm thinking. Of course, when they're in the group of boys, of course, they're telling me, you can do this, who can do this, who can do this. I'm thinking, Lord, I want him to be able to make right choices wherever he is, not to follow, others just because others are doing this. He has to do it as well. So me, I tell him that you're responsible for your own actions. Others should not be able to control your actions. So we had that talk, and of course, just sit down with him to let him realize that, what's going to happen. Of course, that record might be on your record in school. You don't want that, bad record to actually, to go to, outside of school, exactly.
Yeah,
you understand? So, yes. So, but, that was one instance that happened that, I wasn't happy. Definitely, I wasn't happy with that. Yeah. You understand? So, but we dealt with that, and thank God.
Happy days.
Happy days. Yes, that was one incident I just.
I can imagine. Yes. I can imagine. It wasn't funny. Yes. Well done. The bits where I'm actually picking out from what you said is where after the incident you had the conversation.
Oh yes.
So it's not just about disciplining the boy. Fine, there are consequences, and you would face the consequences.
Oh yeah.
But it's not just enough to make the child or the boy face the consequence or have that conversation.
Of course.
And like Christopher said, oh, Mom, we had a conversation and you understood why I did it. So I didn't just got on the bus and just boom, 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 the bus. There was something that led it. Yes, it wasn't the best of choices I did, best of the choice I could made at that time, but I made the choice. I'm facing the consequence, but we have an understanding.
Of course.
Well done, Mom. Christopher, what would you say to that young man out there who would like to explore? We would come back to that question, but now I'd like us to take a break. I want you to talk to those younger boys out there because, of course, you're a big brother now and you're a mentor to so many of them. But before I come back to you, let's take a quick break and we will be back to Grateful Rachel and our wholesome son.
Oh, thank you.
Hello there. Welcome back to A Date with Kiki. We're still on here with Rachel and Christopher, and we're carrying on with our question. Before we took a break, I was on a question with Christopher, and that question is, now you're an older boy, Christopher, in your 20s. Yep. Congratulations. Yeah. And so what would be your advice if you were given a younger boy to mentor today? What would be your advice? What would you focus on in mentoring these younger boys?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got a little brother, and I feel like I mentor him every day. The advice, a lot of the times, advice is something that you want to listen to, but it's more better to show them what they're missing. So, personally, I'd like to live a life. I live my life the way I would want my little brother to live his life, kind of, and yeah, I guess that's probably, as a mentor, I just spend time with them and just tell him to just live a God-fearing life, trying to get as close to the image of Jesus as they can. But then I would also say to them that, like, for example, for the stuff we'll talk about, like stuff happening and then you've got consequences. I would also say to them, like, it doesn't matter what you do, a consequence will come around. But it's just better for you to learn off of other people's mistakes, because when you learn off your own mistakes, it's not fun.
Exactly, it's not as fun.
Not fun at all. So learning off other people's mistakes is better than learning off for yourself, learning off of yours. But then again, learning off your own mistakes is crucial for building character and growth. Exactly. So.
Yeah, thank you very much. I like the bits where you say, and it's quite interesting to see that even at this young age, you have that in mind to say you're not only mentoring by advising or teaching, telling them what to do, but you're living the life you want them to live. So you don't only hear me say it, but you see me do it. So that's what being a role model is.
Course,
So it's not just about kicking around and, but being a role model, giving practical example by your own life. And it's easier for us to pick what I watch you do, than what I hear you do.
Yeah,
well done, Christopher. True. I think I'll be sending boys your way soon. Watch out. And well done, Mom.
Thank you.
I thank God for your life. Thank God for all that you're doing in the life of your boys.
Thank God.
Now, over to you. Some of us have got younger boys. My boys are, I know my boys are older than Ethan or about the same age, but they're a lot younger than Christopher. What would you say? What are you trying? What would you, if you're giving a younger mother of boys to mentor, what would be the things you will want to pass on and say to them and tell them, watch out, this is what you need to enjoy. Like when I go to places and somebody say, I've got boys that work, and I said, give it a couple of more years, you would enjoy the bliss because they're beautiful to have. That I know of. So what would you say to the younger mother?
To the younger mother. I mean, one thing I know about boys is that they're very loving. You understand? They love their mom so much. They show affections. And, what I would say is, you need to make sure that they can trust you, with anything. You need to be their friend. And I'm really grateful that I have that relationship with Christopher. I remember telling him that, Christopher, I want you to be able to tell me anything. I might get upset, but still tell me anything that is bothering you. Because I believe that if they can't tell you, who can they tell?
Exactly.
You understand? They might turn up, asking others, but they will not give them wise advice. So for them to know that, I can tell mom anything, no matter what, but still, of course, if they tell you something that you're not proud of, you will still be able to to tell them off. But for them to know that definitely they can trust you.
Yeah.
For you to be able to, wherever they're telling you, that you will not go crazy in a way. In as much as, of course, you might get upset, but don't show it too much for them to know, okay. Because if, if you show it too much, if you're not happy, if you tell them off too much, they might not be able to come to you again. You understand? I want them to be able to tell me anything that is bothering. And I'm really grateful that we've had that relationship whereby he can tell me stuff. So to that, I'm really, really grateful, because I want him to, because I'm his mom.
Exactly.
I don't want anyone to take my place. I want to be the one, to be able to guide him. Of course, by the help of God, you understand? I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. I'm constantly, asking God to give me wisdom how to guide both of them. You understand? And one thing I've been able to do that I would like to encourage, younger mom is just depend totally on God. I remember there was a time whereby I used to be so afraid that, oh my days, I know there's a lot going on the internet. I'm not there 24/7. I cannot be there in the room 24/7. If I'm not there, what are they watching and this? And I just had to take that fear to God. Honest, I won't lie to you, Kiki. It actually disturbed me for a long time. Like, oh my days, what's going to happen if they, start acting up and everything. I had to say, Lord, I believe, you get me these boys. And the Bible says, the blessing of the Lord, it makes rich. Perfect. It had no sorrow. I said, Lord, you've blessed me with these wonderful boys. You understand? I'm here as a childminder. I'm trusting you to lead them aright. I'm trusting you that, when I'm not there, for them to make the right choices. I'm trusting you, for them to have an encounter with you. Because I believe when they have that encounter with God, their life will never be the same again. You understand? Right. So that when I'm not there, they will only hear the voice of the good shepherd. You understand? Not my voice. That mommy said, don't do that. No, but Lord, for them to, to hear that voice, God actually guided them to make right choices. So I had to actually go to God and I said, Lord, I surrender. I surrender. I trust you that you will look after these boys. You understand? So once I did that, and honest, the fear just disappeared. Wow. And so it's mine to pray, it's for God to lead them. Honest, that is my testimony. Even when they go out, people say that, if there's anything that is happening, I say, Lord, God will guide them. God will lead them where they're not supposed to be. They will not go there. That God will lead them to the right place. And that is what I do every day. Just cover them in the blood of Jesus. And me doing that, honest, I'm having a good night's sleep. I'm eating well, knowing that God is in control. I'm not the one that's going to guide them. It's God that is going to lead them. Because the blessing from God to me.
Wow, so, that's a very good one. That's a good one. And, it just gives you that unfathomable peace. That's, that peace. And even when it doesn't seem like it's going the way it should, like, like the moment you said that's bus incident, but you have the confidence that I've handed him over to God. There was the time a friend of mine were talking and she said, when I just, even before I get stuck, most of the time I'm just like, I just go, God, over to you. Over to you. This moment I cannot handle it. Just, just it's yours. Just carry. Just take care.
The burden is not mine. The burden is not.
I'm not going to. It's yours. So just take care of it, because I'm just a caretaker. I'm your staff here, and sometimes when you give your staff some things to do, and you're just like, oh, this assignment or task is heavier than me. You go to the boss and say, boss, can you help? Let's look at this task. And then, so that's the way it is with God. And, the fact that you don't have to make it so formal with God. Just say, God, Christopher,
I hand them over to you.
You know, and then he takes care of it because in any way, that's what he wants.
Oh yeah.
And then Christopher seeing you do that, he knows to do that for his own children, and he goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So well done, Mom.
Thank you.
I wish I had a daughter. And that's why I always say on this show, if you've got daughters, you don't want to meet any of these episodes. Because yes, we've got future sons-in-law here. I'm not advertising you, Christopher. I'm just saying, I'm just giving God the glory for Mom and for
I'm
yourself.
really grateful for him.
Because again, what if you were doing all of that and he wasn't listening?
True.
So we give God all the glory for Christopher as well. Well done, and well done for mentoring your younger brother as well.
Well done.
Now to round up this bit of this episode, I'd want to say, I know you weren't prepared, but I want to give you 1 minute to look your mom in the eye and tell her some beautiful lines for Mother's Day.
Oh, am I going to cry?
I can get you some tissue. Don't worry, it's allowed. He's your son, so it's allowed to love you. So, Christopher, this is a moment for you to just love Mom.
Okay. Mom?
Yes, darling.
Thank you for being my mom. The past 20 years have been crazy, especially like the last 5. Everything that happened with Dad. I'm just really happy that you've continued to love me through everything.
Oh.
And you've been able to provide for me and Ethan.
Thank you.
As well as chasing your own dreams as well. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you.
You're like a superhero.
I'm a superhero, Kiki.
You're doing jogging. You're building a business. You've built a business. You're a full marathon in a couple, and you aren't worn out. It's just how much energy and love you've got is just overwhelming.
Oh, thank you, darling.
So thank you for just being there for me whenever I needed it.
It's been nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you.
Well done, Christopher.
I'm happy to be your mom too. It's been amazing. You've made life beautiful.
Amen.
Without you, I don't know, where I would be. But it's been amazing. So actually, being your mom, raising you, has given me so much joy, and with your brother as well. So yeah, I'm grateful. For
that goes a proud Rachel. Yes, grateful Rachel. I wonder if you could ever say any line without adding, I am grateful.
Look, that's just say, Kiki, because that is just my testimony. You understand? When you're just grateful, when you look at yourself and say, you know what? I could not have been there without God's faithfulness. So because of that, I'm ever grateful. I'm grateful for my life, even for my challenges, for my past challenges. I'm really grateful, really. So that is why I actually say, you know what? Grateful Rachel is grateful. Which is why I changed my name to Grateful Rachel, because I'm I'm really, as I said, I can't take credit for everything that is happening in my life.
You know what? You're impacting lives.
Thank you, Kiki.
I, for one, yes. Because whenever I remember you, the first thing that comes off of my mouth is I am grateful.
And that's that song you told me about.
And exactly. We should play our song before you. I hope you've been listening.
Oh yeah.
Yes. We can only be grateful. Because if it had not been for the Lord on our side,
you won't be here.
We won't. And thank you so much. I'd like to stress this. A Date with Kiki, or what I'm about, is raising men of purpose and godliness. And that's you're doing. Amen. So again, Rachel, well done.
Thank you.
And for the good job you're doing, I've got a gift for you.
Oh, really?
And for being such an amazing mother who is taking her time to raise purposeful and godly men, I've got a gift for you.
Oh, thank you, Kiki.
And here you go, Grateful Rachel.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is to say we're grateful.
Thank you.
I haven't got a daughter, but someday, somehow, my son could have a daughter.
Of course, yes.
But again, it's not just about me. It's about the world at large.
Of course, yes.
And we're grateful to mothers for taking out the time to raise great men.
Oh, bless you. Oh,
Happy
thank
Mother's
you.
Day.
Oh, I do appreciate that. Thank you. This is amazing.
Yeah, I hope you like it.
Dear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my first Mother's Day gift. Thank you, Kiki.
I'm glad I'm the first to give you a Mother's Day gift. I beat Christopher.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. And it's been amazing, coming on your show today.
Thank you.
Well done for everything that you're doing. You're doing an amazing, show. This is lovely. Honest. Well done. And
thank
may
you
God
very
continue
much.
to strengthen you. Yeah. Well done, Kiki.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, our viewers. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I'm sure you would have had fun. I have had a nice time as well. Please remember to leave your comments below or your questions. And again, subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends. Happy Mother's Day. Bye.